Well, the worst World Series of all time has finally come to an end. I have to say, I was not a fan of the World Series, but I'm going to go through game by game and just give a very quick take on each one. So, game one was great. Game one was fantastic. Low scoring, pitchers duel. Yankees take the lead in the 10th inning, up 3-2. Freddie Freeman with an all time World Series moment. But that grand slam that he hit, I think it just took the air out of the entire Yankees team. The Yankees didn't stand a chance in the series after that grand slam was hit. And that was it. I mean, that was the end of it. That game one was the end of it. The Dodgers, had they lost game one, it could have been an entirely different series, but alas, it wasn't. It was all Dodgers from there, and I have to say, it got pretty boring after game one. Game two, Yankees, they tried to show some life. They tried to fight on, but ultimately, just not that good. They scored a couple runs in the 8th inning, but the ninth inning. But even when they had the bases loaded in the ninth, you kind of knew they weren't going to win. Dodger Stadium, fans on their side, and the Dodgers, they led the entire game. They led 4-1 most of the game. Yankees load the bases, score a run in the ninth, but like I said, even with runners in scoring position, even with the tying run on base, there was never a doubt in my mind that the Dodgers would win that game. They just controlled it so well. Their pitching, Walker Buehler was excellent, and the Dodgers pitching throughout the entire series, Jack Flaherty, Walker Buehler, they had the arms, and everybody thought maybe the Dodgers didn't have the arms to compete with the Yankees. The Dodgers had better arms than the Yankees. New York's bullpen was good. New York starters just weren't good enough. Game 3 was another snooze fest. Freddie Freeman hitting another home run. The Freddie Freeman home run thing is insane, by the way. Home runs in 6 straight World Series games. He homered in the last 2 games of the 2021 World Series when he won it with the Braves, and then he homered in the first 4 games of the Yankees-Dodgers World Series. He's now a 2-time World Series champion, World Series MVP. I mean, he's amazing. Unbelievable what Freddie Freeman did there. But game 3 was another snooze fest, 4-0. Yankees again scoring late. Juan Soto threatened with a sacrifice fly. Giancarlo Stanton, though, or no, excuse me, it was not Juan Soto. It was somebody else, but Stanton got thrown out by Teoscar Hernandez on one of the better throws I've ever seen. That was one of the only exciting moments of game 3. Ohtani and Judge, by the way, both completely disappeared in this series. Pretty sad to watch these 2 MVPs have to get carried by the rest of their teams. Stanton was like the only Yankee who was trying, but the dude's slow, so I understand why you send him. You're trying to get momentum there. But at some point, you have to be smarter than that to send one of the slowest guys in the league on that play. Teoscar gunned him down. That was a huge momentum killer. And again, the Yankees score a couple runs late. Never really had a chance. 4-2 was the score again. Then in game 4, it's like, well, the Dodgers could sweep. It's like, nope, instead, we're just going to punt game 4. So game 4 was, again, it was very boring, but this time it was the Yankees who dominated. And they actually scored some. Judge got a hit. Judge scored a run. Yankees win 11-4 in a very uncompetitive 4th game that the Dodgers, why are we doing bullpen games? I understand the strategy of it. It's like, yeah, we know we're going to win, so we might as well just let the Yankees take this game on a bullpen day. But I hate the strategy of a bullpen game in the World Series. It's ridiculous. I mean, the Dodgers just completely punted on winning game 4. It's like they didn't even care if they won because they knew that no matter what happened, they were going to win game 5 or game 6, which obviously, I mean, yeah, I get it, but I don't want to watch non-competitive World Series games. It makes for boring baseball. 11-4, and there was never a moment where I didn't think the Yankees were going to win that game. The Dodgers, it wasn't even that they throw their best relievers out there. They were throwing out a bunch of their low leverage arms for multiple innings. That's like, what are we doing here? Volpe hit a grand slam that really kind of changed that game. That gave them Yankees all the momentum. And then the question was, would they be able to do what no team has ever done, right? Going into game 5, not a single team down 3-0 had won games 4 and 5. So the Yankees are literally trying to make history. It's not that no team has ever forced a game 7. No team has forced a game 6 after falling down 3-0. Could the Yankees be the first? Of course, they could not. They really thought, I thought they would. They were up 5-0. Judge hit a homer, finally showed up, finally did something. Stanton hit another homer. Stanton continuing to play super well. Garrett Cole was dealing. What happens, though? The Dodgers in the top of the 5th inning, bases loaded, 1 out. No, excuse me, bases loaded, 2 outs. By the way, the only way they got the bases loaded is because Aaron Judge dropped a routine fly ball. So Aaron Judge kind of lost this game for them. But with 2 outs, bases loaded, they had a chance to get Mookie Betts on a ground ball to first. Garrett Cole forgets to cover the bag. Like, I'm sorry, Garrett, you have to be there. You have to cover the base. It was honestly quite embarrassing to watch Judge drop a ball. There was another fielding miscue before that in the infield. Then Cole just doesn't cover first base. He expects Rizzo to get there. He doesn't. Mookie Betts beats it out. Then, of course, the next 2 guys both lace in 2 runs each. Freddie Freeman knocks in 2, and then Teoscar knocks in 2. And just like that, the game is tied. And it's not anybody's fault. It's all of their fault. It's Judge's fault. It's Cole's fault. It's Jazz Chisholm's fault for making an error at third base. The Yankees were, and it was sad because Cole, it was bases loaded, nobody out, and then Cole struck out Ohtani, and he struck out somebody else. It was like Ohtani and the guy before, whoever was before Ohtani, it might have been Kike. He gets 2 huge strikeouts, and you're like, he's gonna get out of it, isn't he? And then he doesn't. He completely blows it. Then the Yankees did score a run in the 6th to make it 6-5, but the Dodgers in the 8th inning, again, taking advantage of a fielding miscue from the Yankees. The Dodgers, once again, I mean, they proved they were the better team. They're the better base runners. They were faster. They were better fielders. They had the better bullpen. They had the better starters. So the Dodgers all around had the better team, and of course they were more clutch because games 1 and 5, the Dodgers won by being clutch. The Yankees put 2 runners on base, including Judge, who hit a 1-out double in the bottom of the 8th, and that was the Yankees' chance. But and again, kudos to this guy for the Dodgers. Blake Trinan missed the past 2 years due to injuries, comes out and tosses the inning of his life in the 8th inning to shut down the Yankees, and the Dodgers win it in 5 games by a final score of 7-6. World Series MVP, Freddie Freeman, and he absolutely deserved it. But it was a pretty boring World Series. And it's funny because everyone's like, man, like, this was the series we all dreamed of. This is the series the fans wanted. Dodgers, Yankees, MVPs. And it's like, well, Ohtani and Judge didn't really do much. Dodgers dominated the whole time. Kind of a boring World Series, to be honest. But that's my take.